Before I start my presentation, I apologize about gross pictures in my PowerPoint. Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to speak in front of you today. But first, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is William from PT1 and I'm 13 years old. Now, before I start my presentation genuinely, I want to ask you a question. What did you eat for breakfast and what did you eat for lunch? I assume you ate meat at least once. But from now on, you should eat bugs instead to get rid of the world's hunger problem and save the earth. This is my thesis today. Let's start. You should have heard about the poverty in the world. The hunger in the world isn't cured even though lots of people are donating. A great way for poor people to get food is to consume bugs. Firstly, bugs are easy to get because they breathe 30 times more quickly than cows, which means you can get a lot of them without costing a lot of money. Farming insects takes way less land too, so it proves that less money is needed. But the protein you get from insects is much more than eating cows. You can get 12 times more protein than eating cows from eating insects. The nature is being overly used by livestock. The manure they eliminate gives off methane gas. 1,190 kilograms of gas per cow is produced, and the fields they live on is made by cutting down forests. This is becoming a serious environmental problem. On the other hand, the gas and the waste the insects make is much less than cows. And the fields they require to live is much less, which you can grow them in your own yard instead, which means you don't have to destroy an ecosystem to make farms. Even though eating insects have much more merit than eating cows, I wondered why people don't eat insects. The main reason most people don't eat insects is because insects look gross and people think the taste would be horrible. I surveyed 20 people in my class, and 90%, which is 18 people, said they're gross, and 10%, which is 2 people, said that it's fine. This weak point makes us to suffer with hunger and poverty and environmental problem. Isn't it weird? Now I got curious of how many people are already eating insects. 2 billion people, which is about 30% of the world, are already eating insects, and among the 2 billion people, 32%, which is about ground beetle, which likes eating ground beetles, 20% like eating worms, 18% like eating ants and bees, 15% like eating crickets, and 15% like eating grasshoppers. The menu this week is ground beetles. Insects are thought to people to be gross, disgusting, and inedible, even though insects doesn't give people diseases and is considered as a superfood. This way of thinking causes us to suffer with hunger, poverty, and environmental problem. As the time passes, insects should be the main source of protein and food. I assert that we should start eating insects. Eating insects would clear the problems cattle put on the environment and would clear the hunger in the world. Thank you for listening to my speech.